Welcome back, my fellow mobile gamers, to a summary, a rundown, a brief look at the 3 most interesting mobile games that I played last week, which includes one of the absolute best games I've played this year. And in case you missed the last few episodes, by the way, we've really been on a roll lately with games like Hold Down or Nova Island, Pew Pew Live, and even Bot World Adventure, all being covered in the last month alone. So I really hope you're gonna enjoy this latest episode, where I'm of course gonna continue this quest of finding the very best that mobile gaming has to offer, starting with today's first game, World Flipper. Developed by the Lost developer Cygames, this is a unique gacha action RPG with, and hold on now, a pinball-like combat system and a cute art style that is half pixel art, half polished 2D drawings. So let's break it down here. The core gameplay has us build up a team of heroes and then take them into campaign missions, events, and even real-time co-op boss fights. Combat takes place on a field designed like a retro pinball machine, which means our heroes start at the bottom of the screen and we then trigger the flippers of the machine to blast our heroes towards the enemies on the playing field. Any enemies our heroes hit as they fly around the board takes a bit of damage, and after our hero's special abilities have charged up, we can also activate them manually to deal a ton of extra damage. After each fight is over, we then gain some XP, some currencies, and some equipment used to improve the strength of our team, and I really found this entire solid core gameplay loop to be refreshingly entertaining, and it's just different from all the other gacha games out there. Another feature that I saw for the first time in this game is that if we skip the stories that are told between missions, we're then shown a short summary instead, which is really just a smart system for those who don't want to sit through the very conversation-heavy cutscenes. Now, World Flipper is the type of game that is heavy on daily quests, login rewards, and yes, even auto systems. So if you don't like these mechanics, the game just isn't for you, honestly. But on the bright side, the daily routine isn't as dragged out as in some other gacha games. New heroes and equipment are pulled from a gacha system using the premium currency that we can earn through gameplay or of course buy more of through in-app purchases. Since there's no PvP system though, there's really no pressure to spend on this gacha system, and although the pool to pull from is slightly diluted, the rates themselves aren't horrible. Instead, my biggest frustration is the inner system that severely limits each play session length. The game requires online access, takes up 3.6 GB of space, and I ultimately think World Flipper's unique combat system and very polished gameplay makes it a worthwhile consideration for any gacha fan who's tired of the endless number of turn-based strategy RPGs. But now, my friends, let's get to that awesome game that I teased in the intro of this video. The name of the game is Bomb Club, and it's an absolute gem of a puzzle game and one of the most humorous games I've played on mobile, like ever. And there are no ads, by the way, and just a few $1 DLC in-app purchases to unlock additional levels, so the monetization is also great. In fact, everything from the adrenaline-pumping soundtrack to the beautiful hand-drawn art style, amazing puzzles, and entertaining character dialogues just made me instantly fall in love with this game. It's truly just a blast to play. Pun intended, by the way, much in alignment with this game's humor as well. Now, the actual gameplay is split across a huge map full of short levels and then a story that unfolds as we progress in the game. Each of these levels is made up of a small grid-based map with various bombs placed on it. With a few bombs on our hands, our objective is to place these on the map to create a chain reaction that ensures that all bombs get blasted once we activate one of them. And I know it might sound easy enough, but the tricky part here is actually split into 2 elements, because first we have to find out which bombs types to place where, and then secondly we have to figure out which of these bombs to activate first to properly set off the chain reaction. And with over 20 wacky and also increasingly more advanced bomb types that introduce new mechanics, the game's difficulty increases at a nice pace as we progress, which also prevents the gameplay from growing stale and repetitive. It can be played offline, takes up 216 MB of space, and it's really just an instant classic and a must-try for anyone even slightly entertained by puzzle games. Now, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and so I try to play every single game on mobile that releases within that franchise or that uses that franchise. And a few weeks ago, we actually got a new game, and it has its obvious pros and cons, and so I wanted to share my thoughts on it with you guys. So the name of this game is The Lord of the Rings War, and it's a multiplayer conquest strategy game where we occupy land, expand our city, recruit well-known heroes from the Lord of the Rings franchise, and fight other factions for Middle-earth dominance. So after picking a faction such as Rohan, Gondor, or even Isengard, our city is placed somewhere on the part of the map that belongs to that faction, and then we start occupying surrounding land tiles by sending heroes to defeat the NPCs controlling them. As a grand-scale strategy game though, we don't really participate in the individual battles, and instead our job is to strategize where to attack when and which units to equip each hero with. The land we control provides ring power that improves our core stats, and as we upgrade our city, we gradually unlock new gameplay elements and can recruit more powerful units as well. Eventually, we're then strong enough to venture into enemy territory for PvP, build forts throughout the map, harvest resources, and just much more like that. One of the most unique aspects of the game is that it's split into 2-month seasons that have actual end goals. And what this means is that all factions fight to accomplish accomplish this season objective first, and when a season ends, most things then reset and a new objective releases. So it's basically like playing a new game, or at least a new campaign every 2 months, which is a really freaking awesome idea for a game, and especially a grand scale strategy game like this one. So that was all the good stuff, but then what are the flaws of this game? Well, first of all, the tutorial really isn't great, and the UI is just straight up overwhelming. Just look at this screen. It makes it very difficult to understand all the gameplay elements. It takes a long time to truly get into this game, and yes, there is a chat, so you can chat with other players, and that is a big help, especially in the beginning of the game, but it's still not a great first time play experience, and they really should fix that if they want to get more players into the game. But the really big issue is that everything from upgrading buildings to moving heroes takes time in this game, which means the game is best enjoyed in short bursts, and that wouldn't really be an issue if it wasn't for the monetization kicking in, because the game's many in-app purchases let us skip some of these wait times and grow stronger in various ways, which unfortunately makes the endgame PvP very pay to win. And since our cities can be attacked by other players as well, this will also impact your free-to-play experience. It requires online access, takes up 1.3 GB of space, and while it's easy to dislike the wait times and the monetization systems because they really aren't great, there's just something about the core gameplay loop that keeps me coming back for more in this game. So despite all these obvious flaws, I think some players will actually really enjoy this game, but let me know what you think about it in the comment section. But I can't really make it my favorite game of the week because that will have to go to Bomb Club. Just try opening up this game for the first time with audio on. Remember to have audio on before you open the game. Trust me, it's gonna blow you away. I can't handle these puns, but it's a great experience. But if you don't agree, let me know down in the comment section. And actually, while you're down there, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I hope you did, because then I will see you guys back next week. And until then, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around. This is a unique gacha action. It's an action RPG